Hello and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name's Matt and today we're going to take you through a workout where we've got 3 rounds of exercises. So first thing, it's going to be a conditioning workout. You're going to need, throughout the 3 exercises, we'll do for 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds recovery, and we'll do each exercise twice. That way then you can start to learn how to do the exercise and then start to work on progressing it to your level as well. The first and the third round of exercises, we're going to push your fitness. The second round in the middle is going to be mainly focused on core work on the floor. So to help you with that, I've got a mat nearby me. I'd encourage you to have a mat or a towel nearby you as well. So let's get you warmed up and ready to go for this workout. To begin with, just start opening up the arms across your body. Just start to feel a little bit of freedom coming through the shoulders. Feel a little stretch across your chest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to pivot from your feet, moving around from side to side. So just adjusting through the feet, making sure that the ankles create a little bit of mobility. Also all the way up through the hips and through your thoracic spine as well, just so you can start to feel a little bit of motion coming into your body. Excellent. Now let's take you into a little half squat. So lowering your hips down towards your heels, just starting to get the blood pumping into the thigh muscles, and this will allow you to start to develop your strength a little bit further, and also just prepare your muscles for the work that they're going to do. Now, the first round, as I say, we're going to be challenging your fitness a little bit. We've got a couple of exercises. Predominantly, they're going to just increase your heart rate, develop a little bit of strength, but also some mobility work as well. And then the second round is going to be core focus. Third round, we're going to try and push your fitness and a little bit of upper body exercises as well. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to take you into some reverse lunges. So taking a lunge back down towards the floor, then stepping yourself back up, alternating in between each leg. Now, when you're doing this one, try to get your body weight equal in between both feet. So that way then your knee goes down towards the floor and your spine stays straight as well. Now, we're going to be quite keen on the technique on this because in the first round of exercises, you've actually got similar movements to this in a lunge. And the difference is we'll be stepping from that reverse lunge all the way into a forward lunge as well. Okay, let's get your heart rate up a little bit more. So just imagine you've got a skipping rope and you're just pushing off the floor. Now the goal here is just to get your heart rates up a little bit more. Let's start taking you to have a little bit of movement from side to side. Just a little bit of agility work. This will help recruit a few more muscle fibers around the stabilizing muscles and just pushing your fitness up a little bit higher as we start to get your heart rate up. Let's scissor those legs forwards and backwards. Nice thing about this imaginary skipping rope is you don't get the red whip marks on the back of your legs when you don't quite make that next jump. Okay, just shake out your body, loosen up a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take you into a punch combination. So jab, cross, jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees and again jab, cross, jab. As you start to move through these movements, start to pivot off your feet as well. Now the benefit of pivoting off your feet just allows you to start to get a bit of mobility and also just starts you to transfer your weight as you throw those punches and bringing your hands back to the side of your face each time. Okay, let's take you into a jumping jack. Start and take your arms out to the sides, just to increase your heart rate a little bit higher. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take you into a knee strike. So what we're going to do is going to take you over to the side to begin with. So just a little pivot on your feet, arms high, drive your knee up high 3 times. Then we pivot the foot over to the opposite side and you drive your opposite knee over. We're just going to repeat that a few times just to start to get this dynamic movement into your hips, but also start to reach your arms overhead so we start to get the whole body prepared for some of the other movements that we've got coming up as well. We'll do a couple more on each side and then I'll introduce you to the first exercise as well. One more on each side. Last one's drive your knee up nice and high. Good, excellent. So we're going to be working for 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds recovery. The first exercise is called a kick sit. So the hands are going to come down onto the floor. You're going to pivot on your foot, sit down alongside your hands, and then draw back the leg, back to the center, and over to the opposite side. So we're going to do this for 45 seconds, and your goal is to try and keep your hands down on the floor. However, I've got an option to lift your hand up, where you bring one foot over the foot front, and then the hand lifts up as well. So let's get moving for 45 seconds. So I say you can lift the hand up. Now what this does is it allows you to pivot and have a little bit more range of movement as well. So it's a little bit easier. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, bring both hands down to the floor, and by keeping your hands to the floor, it gives you a tighter space to be able to pivot your feet through, which just challenges you a little bit more as well. Good, 10 seconds of work left to go. Keep these kick sits going. Then we're going to go to the next exercise, which is a squat with a cross jump as well. Good, give it a little shake. Let me show you what this next exercise is going to be. So squat, jump, crossing the legs over, back into your squat position, and then lower your hips down towards your heels again. And again, we'll be doing 45 seconds of this, starting in 3, 2, 1. Squat, cross, and then back into that squat position. So the focus here is on depth of squat, and also moving your feet quickly, and dynamic movement. So you're starting to build up a little bit of strength and power into these legs. And it'll get your heart rates up as well. Good, we've just over 15 seconds left to go. Keep yourself moving as quickly as you feel comfortable to do so. If you want to have a little breather at any time, that's fine. Keep your eyes looking forward so you can keep your back straight. Last 3, 2, and relax there. So down into a lunge position. I've created a little bit of space in front of me here. Now the goal here is to step forward into that lunge and then step back again. And what we're going to do is 20 seconds in each leg. Let's get moving. So deep lunge forwards, large lunge back. Just making sure you travel the appropriate distance. So think about taking a large step and then just keep your back straight as you move in and out of those positions. So where the legs can start to burn a little bit from already working in a few different ways. Let's swap the legs over. So alternating the leg from one over to the other. There'll be 20 seconds on each leg. Keeping the back straight. Knee can either touch the floor gently or take it down as far as you feel comfortable. Okay, shake it up. Let's do those 3. Squat jump with a cross foot, and then a step over lunge. Starting in 5 seconds, we'll do all those movements again. Hands down onto the floor. 3, 2, let's go. So kick the foot over to the side, pivoting off your feet. Good, big range of movement here. So try and extend the leg so you are actually sat with your foot powered up to where your hands are. If you need to take the hand off, that's absolutely fine. It just gives you a little bit more room to be able to pivot your body. And you can also use the arms to counterbalance your transfer of weight as well. Okay, a few more repetitions each side. Come down to your last 5 seconds. And can relax there. Let's take into that squat cross jump. So it'll be a squat position, cross the legs over, back to the squat position, and then lower your hips down. If you don't want to do this one, you can just literally lower your hips up and down, hold on the spot. Let's get moving if you can. Let's keep your heart rates up. Good, now just try and keep yourself looking forward. So you're not looking down towards the floor when you go into that squat position. Try and keep your eyes looking straight ahead, either at the screen, or find a picture, or maybe just a little bit of your reflection in the window. Maybe find a point on a tree. Something that will just give you a target for your eyes to be able to maintain your body position as well. 10 seconds to go. Keep that tempo up if you can. Last 5 seconds, maintain the form for me. And relax there. Okay, step over lunges. So down into a lunge position. Transfer your weight all the way over. Got a little bit of recovery time still, 5 seconds to go. Okay, let's set that leg all the way up and over the top. Into the lunge and then back again. Maintain your control. The depth and range is important to us, but work to whatever level you feel comfortable. If there is any discomfort, then just stop, realign yourself, and then go again. And swap the legs over. So opposite leg goes back, step all the way over into this forward lunge, then step into that reverse lunge again. Now this is an exercise that you could start to add extra load with. So picking up something that's heavy nearby you. If you've got some dumbbells or kettlebells, or even just a couple of bottles of water, that can all help add a little bit of resistance. Okay, next up we're going to grab a mat. And we're going to get you to lie down onto your back, onto your seat bone. So this is at the bottom of the hips. Extend the arms out in front. Now your goal is to hold this position. If your legs can be extended, then that's great. If they need to be bent, that's also fine. So you've got a couple of options. You can also lower yourself back a little bit further. So the goal here is to maintain this position. But as to how far you would go, that is optional. And if you find that you need to rest your heels on the floor, then just lean the upper body back. But also you can also help stabilize you by bringing your hands down on the floor as well. So you've got options at all times. So you make the workout the appropriate workout for you. Last 5 seconds to go. And then relax. Now just shift your hips forwards a little bit. Let's lie down onto your back. Now I want your whole spine flat against the floor. And we're going to do an exercise called a reverse crunch. So we're going to bring your feet together. You're going to reach your feet up and then back to this 90-degree bend. Let's go. Good. So 45 seconds of work. Use your arms to help push into the floor to lift your feet up towards the sky or the ceiling. Depends if you're enjoying a bit of sunshine in today's workout or if you're inside. Whatever your position, your goal is to try and just lift your lower back off the floor and then really position yourself into this 90-degree position for your knees and then reach those feet back up again. Exhale as you reach yourself up. Breathe in as you reset and then exhale as you reach your feet up again. Good. Last repetition for me and relax there. Now on the next position, what we're going to do is we're going to take that same 90-degree position and we're going to lower one leg down towards the floor and then alternate. So it's just a heel dropping down towards the floor and back again. Easier option would just be to lower the heel without extending the leg. So if you like the easier option because your hips getting tired or the core muscles need to develop a little bit more strength before you start to go for that full range, you can just lower your heels like this. If you can and you feel comfortable, then use the length of your leg as a long lever to start to challenge your core a little bit more. Good. Think about that range. The bigger it is, the better. But keep a slow tempo. Try not to hold your breath as well. Keep breathing as you're moving into these positions. Last couple of repetitions here, and then we'll go through those exercises again. So sitting yourself up, shuffling your hips back slightly. Both poses to the first exercise. So straighten through your spine. Lower yourself back. Knees and heels are together. Arms are in front extended. Then just find a balance point on your seat bones. So this is your boat pose. Options are resting your heels down onto the floor. Of options, placing your hands onto the floor or any variation in between. The further you extend, the harder this is going to be. The higher you are, a little bit easier on the core, but you will still start to challenge your hip flexors right at the front of your hips. That's part of the joints where your muscles are working quite hard as well. So just trying to hold this boat position to whatever arrangement that you feel comfortable with. But just over 10 seconds left to go. If you need to rest at any time, that's absolutely fine. And then you can bring yourself back into the next phase of this timer. You've got 4 seconds to go. Try to maintain if you can. Keep breathing and relax. Let's take you to your heel drop, so just shuffling your hips forwards. And then what we're going to do is take you into our, reverse crunch is next up. So feet at 90 degrees, you're going to extend your legs up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then back to that 90 degrees. Let's get working for 45 seconds. Extend your legs up, reset them to that 90 degrees, and then work again. So the goal is to use your arms to push into the floor, making sure you exhale all the air as you reach your feet up. Inhale as you reset. Good, so it's a nice smooth movement. Just using a little bit of a rock, transfer your weight, and then extend your legs when they're just over the tailbone. Good. Last one for me. And reset there. Okay, next exercise is your heel drops. So this one is going to have the knees at 90 degrees, just lowering down one heel at a time, alternating the legs. Let's bring your feet close together. Let's get you set up, ready to go in 3, 2, legs to 90 degrees, extend one leg at a time. Now, if you wanted to progress this exercise even more, you could lower both legs at the same time. It's going to be more difficult, and your option of making it a little bit easier is just to have that bend in the knee. So, one leg with a bent knee is going to be easier. The next progression is going to be extending your leg one at a time. Or the hardest option for you today is going to be extending both legs and lowering both at the same time. So you've got the option of 1, 2, or extending both at the same time. It's a good exercise that you can practice in between our workouts as well. Okay, well, like I said, let's turn you over onto your front. Next exercise we're going to do is something called a floor jack. So what we're going to do is going to place your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to extend your legs, and you're going to be in a press-up position. You're going to jump your legs out and narrow. Okay, let's get going for 45 seconds. Now, when you're doing this exercise, I want you to try and keep your back straight. So try not to let your hips go high. I want you to try and maintain the height of your hips in line with your shoulders as well. So jumping up, jump back in again. Take your time if you need to. There's no extra points for the speed on this one. It's much actually better to control it. We're going to get your heart rates up a little bit more, just purely by the nature of the force that you're transferring. But the focus is still on upper body and core as well. Good, last couple of seconds. And relax there. Let's bring you up to a standing position. Now the next exercise, we're going to get your heart rates up higher on this one. It's called an explode. And what you're going to do is from this low position, you're going to jump your feet together and then back out again. So a bit like the squat jumps to the cross where you cross your legs over, this one is just about bringing your heels in and back out again. So this is your explode, deep squat, jump in and then back out again. So a fair bit of lateral movement there. So keep focusing on keeping down deep into that squat and then push off the floor, feet in and back down again. So this is your explode. The option to make it harder is to jump your heels together and replace them back into that wide stance instead of bringing your feet onto the floor and then back out again. So you've got two options here. And if you're looking for an easier option, you would just do a basic squat as well, just like we did in the warm-up. Okay, relax there. Now the third exercise, and the last one that we're going to do today, is a lateral bear crawl. So this is where your hands go onto the floor. And what we're going to do is just lift your knees up off the floor, and we're going to travel right hand and right foot, then left hand and left foot. And just going to transfer your weight as you move across from one side to the other. So try to keep your hips low again. And this is where the legs are going to start to fatigue a little bit, as well as the arms, and you're going to work for your core as well. So a really nice exercise to finish off today's workout. But don't forget, we've got to do all these exercises the second round as well. So think of them as a second circuit coming up. Just over 10 seconds to finish off this exercise. Then we're going to go into those floor jacks again. Try and keep your back straight, knees are close to the floor, and relax there. Let's get you ready for the floor jack. So hands underneath your shoulders. Take a little bit of a breather. You've still got 10 seconds before we go to that next exercise. But the movement that we're looking at is this floor jack again. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So again, let your eyes look down in an imaginary line between your fingertips. Now I'll just help give you a focus to look at. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. And that starts to do a lot more work into the core area. And then jumping those legs wide and narrow. That will push your heart rates up. And start to focus and challenge the core as well. 15 seconds left to go. Keep the legs moving, find a little tempo that suits you. And relax there. Let's get ready for those explodes. So you've got the two options, jumping your feet together or keeping them into that wide position. So here's the options, feet together and back out, or the feet jump and touch in midair. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Here's the option, jumping those heels together in midair, and then each time coming back down to that squat. Here is your other option, just bringing your feet together into that tall position and then back into your deeper squat. 30 seconds of work left to go. Keep your back straight. Keep looking straight ahead if you can. Think about that position that you were looking at earlier, whether it be the tree, your reflection, a picture, or the screen. 15 seconds of work to go. Last chance to push your heart rates up. The last 10 seconds. See if you can speed up as long as you can maintain that form. And relax there. Okay, down to the floor for the lateral bear core. Let's get your hands and your feet set up. Starting in 5 seconds. Let's get moving. So knees off the floor, right arm and right leg. Move at the same time. Left arm and left leg. Move at the same time as well. Try and keep the knees down close towards the floor. We don't want them coming up too high. You want to keep the muscles working the best you can. Good, just over 15 seconds left. Then we'll give you a little bit of recovery. Then we'll take you into a few stretches as well. Keep working for these last 10 seconds. Keep moving the arm and legs at the same time. Keep the knees down low and rest there. Excellent, well done. So we'll just hold this kneeling position. Let's stretch through the body a little bit more. So hands reach behind you. Lift your chin and chest up tall. Bring your hands linked behind you. I want you to just take the hands away from the lower part of your back, just so you start to feel a deep stretch. Excellent. Now bring the arms around in front. Think about hugging a giant beach ball, and that beach ball is being inflated, so the arms start to round a little bit wider and further away. Good, and then just loosen your arms up a little bit. Let's get into a few lower body stretches as well. Take you into a position where we're going to do an up dog. So we're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to maintain my knees being on the floor, just lower my hips towards the floor. Eyes look up, roll the shoulders back. So you feel a stretch and a release of tension in the front of the hips. Now tucking the toes underneath, I want you to push into your hands, lifting your hips high and transferring the weight back. And I just want you to pedal your heels. This will just start to give you a little bit of a stretch for your calves. Look towards your toes as you start to pedal those heels down a little bit each time. Let's come back to your up dog. Now this time I'm going to keep my knees off the floor, just to enhance the stretch from the front of the hips. Peel the shoulders back and down, eyes look upwards. And again, pushing into the hands, back to down facing dog. And this time holding the stretch, looking towards your toes, push into your hands so you feel the stretch come all the way through the back of your legs. If you're very flexible, you're going to find this position comfortable. If you've got a bit of tight tension going on in the hamstrings, you'll feel a deep stretch here. Now lift one leg up for me and try to reach that foot up towards the hand. Now it hasn't quite got there, try and just adjust it, wiggle it forwards, and then reach the hand up into the sky. From here, push the back heel away, so you develop this stretch into what we call a runner stretch. Now from here, the hand comes back inside the body, step back to down facing dog, and over to the opposite side. So a large step, then reach the arm up high, push the back heel away, and hold that stretch again if you can. And then from here, bring the hand down, step back to down facing dog one last time, rest your knees onto the floor, and lower your hips down towards the heels, reach your fingertips forward and enjoy a stretch all the way up to the sides of the back. Slowly release that stretch, roll up through each vertebrae of the spine, and just loosen up the body a little bit. Let's take it into a little bit of a bank pose here. So we're going to take you into a standing quadricep stretch. So look straight ahead of you, transfer your weight onto one foot, have a slight bend in that standing foot, and with the foot of the opposite one in the palm of your hand, develop your stretch a little bit more by pushing the foot into your hand so you hold that deep stretch. Excellent. Let's swap those legs over. Good. And then just shake out the legs. Thank you very much for joining me as part of this Matrix Fitness workout. My name's Matt. We look forward to hopefully seeing you either again at 5 o'clock this evening or again on Thursday, 7:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock, or there'll be the 5 o'clock class as well. Look forward to seeing you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.